Hello everyone, it's Claire. One of the biggest challenges my clients and everyone seems to face actually is staying consistent with things that people want to do. I have this problem too. It's really hard to get on a roll and keep on a roll, and you have big plans, but it's hard to stay with what you want to do. So today I want to talk about 5 things that you can do to help you stay consistent in your goals. So the first thing is to break it down. If you've been trying to be consistent with something and it's been hard for you to keep at it, maybe it's just too much. So look at it and see if you can break it down. An easy example is with exercise. If you started out and thought, I'm going to consistently work out for an hour each day, that may be too much if you're going from doing nothing. So maybe you start out with just 15 minutes, or maybe just walking as opposed to if your goal had been going for a run. So break it down. The other thing is, don't try and start out doing too many new things at once. Start with just one thing, and once that becomes a habit and you feel good about that, then you can start adding on more. Number 2 is scheduling it. This is really important. So even if it's something as small as writing in a journal or taking 5 or 10 minutes to meditate, put it on your schedule. Block it in there at 7 a.m. in the morning for 5 or 10 minutes, whatever it is. And if possible, schedule things earlier in the day. So you may have heard that we have a limited amount of willpower. So this is true. Our discipline and willpower uses glucose in the brain. So we use it up through the day as we're using our discipline and trying to focus on things. So it's really important. If you have important meetings, deals you need to get done, calls you need to make, you should try and schedule all of that earlier in the day. And so this goes for things that you're trying to be consistent with that you're having trouble with. Schedule in the beginning of the day while you still have more willpower, if possible. Number 3 is change the story that you're telling yourself about whatever it is that you want to do. So, for example, meditation. You may want to do this, but you're struggling and you think of it as a chore. Instead of thinking it as a task or a chore that you need to be doing, think of it as an opportunity. Think of it as 10 minutes where you get to just have some peace to yourself, be alone, and just be calm and not be dealing with other people's problems. This also goes back to your why, which we've talked about a lot. Remembering why you really want to do something. So what's your end goal? Rather than getting annoyed that you have to go to the gym, be thinking about your goal of losing weight so you can fit into your bikini on the beach this summer and look good and feel great. Number 4. I don't know if you've heard of Mel Robbins. If you haven't, you can look her up. She's done TED Talks, and she just came out with a book called The 5-Second Rule. And this is my number 4 tip for staying consistent, is her 5-second rule. And she talks about when we hesitate on doing something, so if you have to make a call and you're not so sure you want to do it, or waking up in the morning and you're going to hit that snooze button rather than get out of bed, or going to the gym, that we have 5 seconds that if we hesitate, then our brain tells us, forget it. We've lost the motivation, that you have to seize those 5 seconds and take action. So she says, the second that you realize you're hesitating, you tell yourself, I'm going to make that call, or your alarm goes off. The second you're about to hit that snooze button or not make that call, count back from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then take that action. Because if you let more than 5 seconds go by, that's it. It's going to be so much harder to do it. You've lost your opportunity. So that's number 4. And my last tip for you is, if you do wind up missing a day or missing your schedule of what you want to do, get right back to it. Because the longer that you don't do it, the harder it is to get back. And we all know this. We all know this if you've ever been on a diet or tried to have an exercise routine and you've gotten sick or gone on vacation and fallen off, and it's so much harder to get back the longer you've been away from doing something. So just don't beat yourself up. If you miss a day, just say, I'm right back in it. I'm right here. You're gonna keep going. So I hope those tips helped you. Let me know how you do. Also, I'm going to put a link connected to this. If you want some more help with motivation, I have a webinar called 5 Tips to Taking Control of Your Life. And I think that should be really useful for you as well. So you can check that out. You can check it out by clicking on the link that I'm going to put attached to this. Thanks. Talk to you soon.